Appreciate you guys tuning in. The Tastemakers Podcast begins in 5 minutes. Make sure not to go nowhere, because Quote, Brina, Trisha, and Corey, also known as the Tastemakers, will be with you in 5 minutes. Thanks for sticking with us. Oh snap, you still here? Listen, in less than 3 minutes, the Tastemakers Pod will be on and popping. Don't miss Bree, Quote, Trish, and Corey talking about the hottest topics in culture. Again, less than 3 minutes. Make sure to stick with us. I told y'all, patience is a virtue. This is what perseverance will get you. In just 60 seconds, you will be live with the Tastemakers Pod. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you soon. What up? What up? What up? I was about to say, Trish, where'd you go? Yo, we apologize for the technical difficulties. It's crazy out here. On the YouTube world, I want to say YouTube might be like a couple minutes behind us, but y'all keep hanging with us, and we'll see what's happening. Okay, actually, maybe it just let me fast forward, and maybe we are good. Anyway, welcome to the Tastemakers Pod. We live, and when we live, there are live type issues that we're still trying to work the kinks out of and do the best we can. So we thank you guys for being patient with us and hanging with us. To everybody in the chat, make sure to let us know where you're hitting us up from. I guess we'll get this started. That is Trisha Bell. Right there is your man Light Skin Corey. Right there is your girl Brina. They call me Quote. Again, we are the Tastemakers, and we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Let's go ahead and spark this thing out. How the Tastemakers doing? How y'all doing? Everybody all right?
We here.
We here?
Yeah.
We good.
Trisha.
I'm yet holding on. That's
There you go. There you go. I
unchanged man.
keep holding on.
I've been a little under the weather, so my throat is doing some things, and but I'm here.
Yeah, but you're here. You made it.
Mhm.
You're still standing.
I'm still standing.
That's what it is. Corey, your volume is just a little low, but it's all good. We will make it pop off.
Yeah, turn me up. Turn me up. Y'all gonna
There
hear
you go.
me.
You're a little louder now. That's what's popping. Shouts out to Kiera, Miss Jacobs was popping with you. See you in the chat there. Definitely, guys. Again, if you're in the chats, make sure to send us where you tuning in from, what state, what city, where you repping at. Y'all know how we do. We got these topics. The Tastemakers is the grown Christian show. You know what I mean?
Which one
Are we a Christian? What happened?
All my. It's always my peoples.
Definitely. Shouts out. B plus. Definitely. What's going on, B plus? Good seeing you, man. No doubt. Refresher. What's popping? Refresher point. So we got these topics. Y'all know how we do. We like to talk on Christian hip hop culture. We like to talk on Black culture, hip hop culture, American culture, all the cultures, all the keywords that I like to say. And there's a lot of nonsense popping off.
Oh, the OG in the building
this week. Yeah. Stephen the Levite. Shouts out. I think he might be checking on a certain somebody. I'm just saying. He might be looking at one of these ladies. I'm just saying. Definitely shouts out. Appreciate you hanging out with us. But yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the first topic. Y'all good? We good? Everybody all right?
Yes, I'm cracking up at Kiera talking about I'm the land of lace fronts and bundles, baby.
Hey!
Oh, tell here I got those buttons 30.
So weak.
Yo, you good, Bree?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, Bree is good. Let's go ahead and jump into this Jon Keiths news this week. We like to try to start you guys off with a little bit of an icebreaker, a little bit of Christian hip hop news, just enough to make sure that we can still say we represent the Christian hip hop community, and then we veer to the way left. But definitely, man, Jon Keiths, he dropped the single "Life of the Party" this week, and he had a lot of DMs, a lot of people hitting him up in the DMs, really kind of critiquing him as an artist and the new single and different things of that nature. And do we have some of the critiques?
Yep.
Cool. And I don't even know why I asked that, because Lord knows that joint is too small for my eyes to really read. But pretty much some of the DMs that he was getting was, you have depression because you're living under demonic influence. You wouldn't have depression if you still went to church. You're saying depression is more powerful than God. You're wrong. This has nothing to do with Jesus. These are all signs of spiritual decline. You need to repent. And I was worried you was going to go to this direction. Go back to talking about what matters. So, I mean, being in the public eye, of course, we live on social media now. Everybody has an opinion. What do you guys think about some of these DMs that your man Jon Keiths was given? I'll go ahead and start with Goss. What you say, Goss?
I haven't heard the record yet. Is it like a totally outlandish record, or what's wrong with the song?
Nah. I mean, it's just typical Jon Keiths emo type You know,
Hmm.
nothing crazy.
Interesting. These must be the same people
So
who said about Christians can't have fun. This must be the bad thing about.
It's the Christians can't have fun crowd. We'll always blame it on that. What's poppin', Tosh? Thanks for hanging with us.
These are the Paul Washington Christian hip hop fans.
The Paul? Did you say Paul Washer?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh Jesus!
I ain't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's all you got, Goss. Trish, what you say about Mr. Keiths DMs?
I just feel like it's just so insensitive, and like, you can't say that depression is because you're like because you're not going to church. Well, I don't understand where that even came from. That doesn't make any sense to me. Because you could still be in church and be full on depressed. So I mean, I don't know that he's not going to church. I don't know. I don't even know where that comes from.
I didn't know where that speculation came from as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that people just try to say stuff like out of ignorance. I mean, it just sounds ignorant to me. It sounds like they don't know what they're talking about, and they're trying to like put something on him that they don't like. You don't even know what's going on with the man. And I need them to do some homework on depression and what that really means.
Come on.
It's not something that you can turn on and off. It's not demonic. It's not like it's actually like a chemical imbalance. Excuse me. And so it's just like my husband said, assumptions abound.
Mm-hmm. Indeed they do. Definitely y'all pray for Trish, because she is soldiering it right now with the cold, like I was like 4 weeks ago when I had no voice on here. So definitely shouts out to my man Kenny Fresh. Now that I see refresher points as Kenny Fresh, always doing big things. Shouts out to you, my dude. Bree, what you think about this?
I mean, I agree. I think it's extremely insensitive. I mean, Paul wrote about his despair in times when he felt low. So, I mean, there's definitely scripture that we have on record where people wrote about their low points. So I don't think, I mean, if that's what this song is about, like, I don't think that's a problem of him expressing how he feels. It's crazy when you have like this crowd who, constantly criticizes everything. It's, some Pharisee type stuff, but
here it says in the Old Testament was depressed.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. I mean, you could really talk about it from Elijah to Jeremiah to many. Yeah, there was a lot of that going around for sure. So that's true. While I got y'all, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Matter of fact, you can actually go ahead and hit the share button, share this out to your socials, to your friends and family. Let them know what we got going on right here at the Tastemakers Pod. So my thing is, of course, this is crazy, and we know the social media, the internet, this is the world we live in now. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody gets to voice their opinion. Everybody gets to hold their favorite artists accountable for different things. And to be honest with you, I've fallen into the trap myself, right? I've done it not many times, but I think about something that happened about 3 or 4 months ago. Torrin Wells and Her released a Christian track, and I was so disappointed by this track. I was so disappointed by this track. Her, of course, is a phenom. Torrin Wells, he's the prince of CCM right now. You know what I mean? And this track didn't reflect any of that. You know what I mean? Any of their styles or anything like that. It was your typical CCM type track, and it kind of ticked me off. And I did at Torrin and at Her to let them know my little bitty opinions and my frustration. I didn't get crazy with it. I praised them in the tweet because, I believe in the sandwich method. You hit them with the good, hit them with the negative, hit them with the good. That's just, it's good. Y'all can take that and run with that. The sandwich method. We need a little bit more of that in our lives. But me as a fan did voice my opinion about these gloriously celebrated and successful artists. And that's what social media allows us to do. So where I do think we do have a responsibility as a community, as a people, to not be in cats' DMs, you know what I mean, on some nonsense. At the same time, I think artists do have to get a little bit more, a little bit tougher skin, because that's the world we live in now too. So those DMs should not be surprising anymore in 2021. Somebody's going to reach out to you and say something stupid. Ignore them and try to pay a little bit more attention to all the praise and positivity and the love that you are getting on these socials. You know what I mean? Because you know how it is. You know, you'll get 300 people saying something good about you. That one person will say something negative, and the way we're wired, for whatever reason, we do swing towards that one. And sometimes we really just got to make that choice to see what they're saying, give them a little bit of grace, and not let it get to our heart what they're saying, and take in a lot of maybe that love and that praise that you know, your true fans or you know, whatever might feel. But everybody has an opinion. Everybody can voice their opinion on the socials. It's a show enough gift and curse. And indeed, accountability goes both ways. And that's a whole other thing. Accountability, you know, rebuke without relationship, or these people who like to hold accountable their favorite Christian hip hop artists that they've never met in their lives, or, you know, whatever. It's not real. You know what I mean? And that's not how it works. That's not how accountability necessarily works. So those are my thoughts concerning the Jon Keiths joint on our topic that keeps us just a little bit Christian hip hop. Anybody else got anything on that?
Well, in the spirit of sandwich method, I feel like last week I sandwiched you, pause, with the whole thing about your hat. But this week your hat looks better. So I'm going to appreciate your hat this week.
Okay. You know, I appreciate that. You didn't start with praise. You went from negative to praise. I can take that. I appreciate it. I definitely think the Virginia on the hat is definitely this. I think the other hat, I just got to put something on it. Goss, really? I just got to put something on it, right?
The other hat's not it at all.
Other hat's not it. Yeah. Well, B Plus wants to know how your midlife Christian crisis is going, Goss.
Oh, Plus!
Do you want to
for this?
Do you want to get? Do you want to get in that?
I do.
Yeah, she's on today.
All right, so Plus, so Pete, I was having a moment, right? And I'm still having a moment, but I got this popping therapist, Plus. She is ill. So, like, and we ain't even start therapy yet, and I know she's ill. Because like, it's the intake process. I was like, oh my goodness, like, yo, you get it. Like she was feeling me just from the, you know what I'm saying? From the intake process. You know what I'm saying? She's younger than me. You heard? So like,
oh boy.
Is she married, or is she horribly unattractive? One or the other?
I gotta be one of the two.
I just need her to be one of those for your sake.
I'm trying to find out too, because I'm like, Lord.
We just don't need you to be
distracted.
Right.
So let me talk to B Plus real quick. So Plus, so I got this new therapist, Plus, and I've been talking out just in that first session my issues, and she's helping me process through that, which is great. And the great thing about it is that was only week one, and she was like, "So you want to come every week?" I was like, "I want to come every day." What you mean? But I got another session before Thanksgiving, that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, but that's been helping me out. And I've been having conversations with, you know, my people, my other youth pastor friends and my friends and things like that. So that's been helping me out too. But I'm definitely still depressed. Well, not depressed. I'm definitely still having my crisis, but I'm working it out in the confines of community, which is great. I talked to my man Lou last night. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I'm working out among other people who are in the same position as me as far as leadership and letting them know. Like, I mean, I'm not the only one. I'm just the only one that talks about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's refreshing to hear my other pastor friends are like, yo, me too. It's real in the group chat.
That's what it is. Yeah, we just heard offline how real it gets in the group chat.
Listen,
so Y'all definitely make sure to keep your man Jon Keiths in prayers. I know it's hard to be a young artist out here doing it and doing it for God. You know what I mean? I definitely think it's good that Keith has surrounded himself by believers and yeah. Hopefully he'll get a little bit more tough skin, but at the same time, hopefully cats will get out of his DMs on some nonsense.
Yeah.
So that is Jon Keiths. Like I said, that's our CHH topic. Let's move on to the ratchetness.
The show goes downhill from here.
The show goes downhill from here.
Wait, what?
We turning the
Lies.
18 plus only. If you're under 18, log off now.
Facts.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, let's definitely go ahead and knock out. We've dedicated, this is the final season of Insecure. So we have dedicated some time allotment in every week's show to talk about Insecure because we definitely, shouts out to Issarae, Yvonne Orji, the whole camp. We love what they do. We are upset that they are ending the series this season, but we just want to kind of take a few minutes and talk about each episode. So this is episode 5, right?
Is it 5?
I think it's episode 5. Episode 5, and pretty much what y'all think about this week's episode of it is going by fast, right? What did y'all think about this week's episode of Insecure? It focused on your man Nathan. I see, last week, of course, we got to focus a little bit on Lawrence. Now more so on Nathan. So the guys are getting a little bit of shine here. Trish, what you thought about this week's episode?
Yeah, I was. There was a lot of different things happening because, he was kind of expressing how he was feeling about Issa with boys. So he was being real free. And I thought it was really insightful for them to even let us in on what he was feeling, based on the last episode when she
cried in his mouth.
Cried in his mouth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I know she was embarrassed about it, but I think because he left, before the morning time came, everybody probably assumed that he was feeling some type of way, but. Yeah, he kind of just she not ready. She all over the place and, all these things. And I thought it was just interesting what his perspective on where she was at was. What else happened? There's so many things.
Molly is back in these streets, obviously.
She is back in these streets. I was like, oh, we're just going straight in. What? What's happening?
I thought Molly was on the chill, but nah.
Too.
She was becoming more like Yvonne, but in this episode, no, she definitely went back to being like Molly.
She was definitely on her Molly tip.
Definitely.
Every time y'all say crap,
what's going on with Kelly?
Kelly is really emotional all of a sudden, right?
I think it's because of that situation in the first episode when they thought she was dead. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think she kind of
she stopped drinking. That. She stopped drinking, and now she's having weird hamster dreams.
She is crazy.
She said it was a hamster. The hamster was my mom, and I was hungry, so I ate it. Does that mean my mom is in me?
I was like,
what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
And you know what, Tasha, is interesting you're saying that because she's like a co-producer or she writes for a lot of the episodes too. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if she had anything to do with that at all, but I don't know.
It is interesting because there have definitely been episodes where Kelly has almost, like I said, almost the first episode of the season. I feel like Kelly carried the episode just about, to be honest with you.
She did.
So it is interesting kind of to see what they are doing from a writer standpoint with her character. It is very, very interesting. Finally, Nathan and Issa got together, I guess, in a sorts, or came to a realizations of that they wanted to be more than friends at the end of the episode. How did y'all feel about that?
I think that. Go ahead, Brie. You go.
And I was just gonna say I don't know how I feel. I guess because I want to see Issa with Lawrence, I'm gonna have to see how this plays out. I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't.
Yeah, I feel like that the fact that he had to be vulnerable, because he was at that point when they kind of had that last scene, he was feeling some type of way because of his cousin telling him like, I want that kicked you out, and he never said anything to his cousin about his being bipolar, and him reflecting on that and how it was making him feel, I think is what made him vulnerable at the time to even say something to Issa about how he was feeling. You know what I'm saying? I thought that his character development, that development of his character was like, I don't know, it was really, I felt like it was well thought out. I like that, the progression. But I'm still like, do I want to see them together? I don't know. But we'll see.
I definitely feel like what Tasha's saying here, the Twitter delegation has spoken. Nathan is going to Nathan. So they ain't going to make it. and I think that might be the case. I mean, I don't know if Issa knows what she has in her hands or has on her hands, of course, with even some of the mental issues that Nathan has. I do feel like he's come a long way since, being with his cousin, per se, obviously, from what was exposed in the episode. But how much of a handle he has on his mental health, we don't really know. I've always felt like he's handled things fairly well. It's never been like extremely crazy. But I expect there to be some bumps in the road and some roller coasters. And how will he handle that with Issa? And we know how Issa is. How will she handle that? Because Issa's as awkward as they come. She is definitely an awkward Black girl. When she got to the beach and she was just,
I was like, girl, just stop. Just stop. Stop talking.
I don't even know why they did a beach party because we weren't getting in that water. I'm like, you didn't see one person get in the water. I saw somebody run towards the water. Nobody got in. I was like, why are they even out there?
The girl did too.
The dude that got in. Oh yeah.
She ran towards it, but we didn't
with
see
the
her
flotation
get in the water,
devices.
though. Yeah.
I'm weak. Yo, that whole little situation was a lot. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I can see why she felt the way because there was a lot going on at that moment.
Indeed.
So you're like, what?
I mean, if you've seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't, you have it. We try not to spoil it necessarily, but we do kind of spoil it. Don't want to go in too much. We just want to, respect and talk about the episode a little bit since we are fans of the show. And this is the final season. We be leaving Goss out of it too. So he'll be tuning back in on our next topic here because he don't be knowing what's going on either. But Tasha said the episode really didn't give for her. I feel you. I think, the most I could take from it, Taj, is Molly is back out there. And Nathan has past issues and things that he's still working through. And then finally, at the end of the episode, we got to see Nathan and Issa decide to take a step forward. What y'all think about Issa and the drama she's having with Crenshaw?
Oh, I feel like that's
sorry, that name still cracks me up. I don't know, like what happened?
He obviously is hating on her. He still, I guess, didn't feel like she really supported him somehow, some way, or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought there was something else I missed because I'm just like, why are they beefing all of a sudden? Okay.
He dissing her on the socials. I didn't quite understand what happened in the car that she saw or that she did. I didn't understand.
It was a tweet. It was a tweet.
She tweeted.
And she tweeted.
No, she sent him a DM, and I think he posted it.
I don't think
he posted
it.
It wasn't a DM?
I thought she just tweeted it.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah, okay. I think Bree might be right. I think because the way it looked, I think it did come from him, but it was a picture of her joint. So
it's like
I
he screenshot it and posted it. That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like.
I didn't catch that if that's what it was, but either way, it was bad.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad look. Well, I think we got 5 more episodes of Insecure. So, like I said, we'll definitely be talking light recaps. You know what I mean? Until things get a little bit more heavier. There's still some fleshing out of characters that are happening now. It's going to be interesting to see. Next week starts the back half, and it'll be interesting to see how things happen there. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Taj saying, yeah, she DM'd him and he posted the DM. So that's what it is. Yeah, that's some trash stuff right there. Speaking of trash stuff and taking private things and bringing them into the public light. Let's talk about these celebrity relationship dramas that have been going on for the last week. And how we feel about them, what to do, what not to do. These are young folk, man. Well, some of these folks is young folks. Some of these folks is old folks, to be honest with you. But I guess when we look at Dababy and what's her name?
Danileigh.
There we go. Yeah. I didn't know who she was before this.
She's on Lecrae's
album.
She's on Lecrae's album.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I knew her from. Okay.
Wait. Wow. Wait, hold up.
Hold on.
What was that?
Y'all ain't fans.
No, we're not fans of hers. No, obviously.
I'm talking about Lecrae.
What album was that?
Yeah.
The last one.
All Things Work Together?
Song?
No, Restoration.
Oh.
I did not know she was on that album. And
she's on. You looking at it, Bree?
Yep.
What song?
What song? Still, track number 12. Still.
Y'all sleep, man. Y'all sleep.
I knew her name sounded familiar. That's where I saw it.
Yeah,
she was on there.
Points for me.
No, it's I didn't, but see her on there. We have proven and certified what Goss just said. Is that right?
You think I'm lying?
I don't think you're lying. I'm just saying you could be confused. I'm messing with you. No. But again, has it been proven?
That's crazy because I know her from years ago. She was a dancer because I used to be a dancer, so I follow like all the dope dancers or whatever. And she was a dancer, and then she came out with like this like EP or something, or a single with what did she? Was it with Dababy? No, it wasn't. It was with somebody else. I can't remember the name of it. Either way, I was like, well, I like this song, but then she started coming up in the media with Dababy, and I was like, why is she messing with him? Like, cause he, he just don't seem like the type of dude.
Okay, hold on. Let's not go. You can't call him a murderer. What he did in Walmart was self-defense.
He killed somebody.
He had a child with him, and somebody was trying to kill him.
And then he killed somebody.
That's called self-defense, not called murder.
No, oh my God.
There's
the law did not see it as murder.
I can't.
Murder. He killed somebody. You're a murderer.
He killed 2 people, Tosh. Okay.
I was about to say, did he kill 2 people?
But hold on, it was still 2 people in Walmart, right? It was 2 people in Walmart that were coming after him. This is still all one incident, right, Tosh?
This dude is a certified killer, man.
Was it 2 incidents? I thought it was 2 different.
Was it 2 different incidents?
Stretching people out. I ain't got time for it.
Oh man. So I mean, obviously, Dababy is nobody's role model. Nobody's really trying to give him that kind of status or anything like that. But what do we really think about what's going on with this situation? What do we really think about what's going on with this situation?
Wait, so what happened? Because I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
I was about to say, I'm about to be real disrespectful. I was about to say, Trish, what do we think is going on?
What happened?
So what happened was, I'll catch you up real quick if I can with my throat situation. So Dababy went on live, calling her a certified side piece, saying she crazy.
Out the blue?
No, the side piece joint was a little bit later in the joint, though. So first there was a joint Before he did to the side piece joint.
No, it was
before.
multiple lives he did in this day, on this one day, okay? Earlier in the day, he was calling her a side piece. Okay? And he was saying all this stuff, talking about how bad she cooked, talking about all these different things, like just basically dragging her through the mud, okay, on live. Okay? Then later on, apparently in between the multiple lives, they had intercourse. She cooked for him all this stuff. Then at 3 o'clock in the morning, while she's feeding the baby, his baby, okay,
not the
in
baby,
his house,
but the baby,
not the baby, but they baby. He proceeds to tell her she got to leave with the baby. They got to get out. He kicked her out the house, and then called the police on her because she was being violent. Yes, she was. I would be violent too. If a ninja don't tell me to leave the house at 3 o'clock in the morning with my 3-month-old baby. What are we talking about? Like, I'm asleep. I'm in bed sleep. I wake up, feed my baby after we done did all the things that we done did today. And then you're telling me I got to get out your house and you're going to call the police on me? It's a lot happening.
So let me recap.
The calling the police. Go ahead.
Let me make sure I got this straight. He just hopped on live out the blue for no reason.
Well, no. Obviously, it wasn't out the blue, right? Like, and this, might even get into the Stevie J Faith stuff or whatever the case may be. Obviously, there was some domestic abuse that was happening as well, right? Obviously, and because the cops have now actually they found enough evidence in the situation that they are charging her, right? So
of course they're charging her because she was going off on him. How he's acting towards her.
Why did he get on live in the first place and do all this?
So that's what it comes down to. So I think I understand the live thing. I think I do. I'm still trying to, for one, this new generation of cats, just internet is their everything, right? As Tosh said. So this is what I understand: breaking out the camera to record if things are popping off crazy in your situation. I don't necessarily understand the going live, but maybe the recording I can maybe understand. Because it could easily be twisted, and as soon as she says that he put her hands on her, it's a wrap. You understand? I mean, it's a wrap as soon as she says that.
Yeah.
So the camera, it seems like cats are starting to use to protect themselves, and guys are starting to do this in relationships. I don't know how I feel about. Like I said, I understand the recording. I don't know that I understand the going live necessarily, right? And there you go. Tasha just said it. He went live so that nobody could ever say that he hit her. And I believe that live did grant him that grace. Like, I do believe people seeing the situation and seeing what was going on, that they would not think that he put his hands on her. And so that's kind of what that live was about.
I struggle.
I mean, of course, it's not.
I feel like he was provoking her in many, many ways to get her to. I mean, he's so disrespectful to her anyway, right?
I agree wholeheartedly.
And I'm not putting it all on him, because she does have to take responsibility for even accepting what he was giving, because she was accepting what he was giving and I think she thought that she was different because of her light skin, and she was looking like all the other baby moms. What she did, she wrote it in a song. Okay, she did a whole song about her light skin and why he want her and not the other baby mamas. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I definitely think he provoked her, and I think, again, if so many people have spoken on this, and he was treating her like the main chick. Okay, he was treating her like that, bringing her around his parents, taking her around the world, got her, put her up in his house, doing all the things, got her pregnant, all these things.
You got her pregnant too?
Well, there's a baby.
The 3-month-old. The 3-month-old is his baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Yes, exactly.
Got you.
So, and she's postpartum. Like when you postpartum, emotions, hormones are all over the place. So yes, I don't. It's not surprising that she hit him because he was provoking her. Period. Anyway, I do think that, you know, if somebody's treating you a certain type of way, then you're gonna assume the hallmark behavior, right? I think you're gonna assume that it is more than what it actually is. However, if he did not verbalize that that you the main, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, because I don't, it seems like he's been saying she's a side chick for a long time, because I think did he not have, get him out of here. That's a whole troll right there. Get him out of here. Get up out of here, Nazi. We not doing that today. Mm-mm. Anyway, I'm not even going to acknowledge you. But yeah, so it's just wild that he had the audacity, you know, the audacity to do all these things and then just kick her out like she's nothing.
So does he have a girlfriend, like a main girlfriend?
That's apparently.
Wife?
You would say so, Trish? I would say no. You would say yes?
I would say that it's up in the air. His real name is Leroy.
Is it Leroy? I think it is Leroy.
Really?
No, it's not. Because she called him his name. It's Jonathan, I think.
Nah, his name was his first album. I forgot the name of his first album.
Was it?
She never wanted to be called I mean, of course she did. Of course she did. Of course, yes, I agree.
I've been a side too before.
They've been saying that he was messing with his other baby mothers. Yeah. But I don't think they were in no like serious relationship or anything like that. I think that I think that Danileigh, I think everybody thought Danileigh was only, you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe not only, but the main. But I don't know.
It's a mess.
I wish she would have not chosen him as the one. Because I mean, he's obviously has issues, and that's like public. You know what I mean?
Killed somebody. He's a murderer.
I can't. Danny took him from Mimi. Oh, I didn't know that. See,
took him from what? Mimi. Mimi's the other baby mom.
Yes, the one that he has a daughter with.
Got you. Yeah, I don't understand. Well, I don't anyway. It's messy. Let's quickly jump into the Stevie J Faith situation.
What happened with that? I don't know what's going on in these streets.
So,
wait,
what happened?
Wow, no, that's London. London on the track.
Hey, we got London on the track.
London on the track is Summer Walker's baby daddy.
Oh. Okay.
But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, Stevie J and Faith. I guess what? So Faith cheated on Stevie J. Is that what's popping off?
That's what in the video.
Wow.
In the video, that's what he kept saying, like, "Oh, you gonna do this to me? Why you gonna do that to me?" And I'm like, what is he implying? What is he saying? If he's saying she cheated on him, what's
no. He straight said that she cheated.
Okay.
He said that.
Yeah.
Once again, recording this, putting this stuff on live, and they old. They ain't young folk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can excuse the baby and old girl a little bit because they young. But Faith and Stevie is not young.
Old school for
No,
real.
they are not. They are not.
They are not young. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So it's one thing to record something to protect yourself, which is what I think these guys are trying to do. But to go live with it, in my opinion, is to create a level of shame or it's an attack move. You know what I mean? It's not a defensive move. It's an offensive move. And so I think that's what it is. Now, obviously, I mean, if she cheated, Stevie J is hurt, yada, 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 boom, boom, boom. But, it's just messy.
It's very messy.
Yeah. So,
And I really was hoping that they would work out, even though when they got together, I was like really confused.
same here.
Because I was like, y'all are best friends.
Ooh, y'all see this muscle I'm working with right there?
Oh.
Just saying.
I don't feel bad for him either, Kiara. What are we talking about?
So, so that's what it is. Dating world, the internet. I don't even understand it. Sometimes I just be glad to be married, just so I don't have to deal with that kind of stuff.
Foolishness.
Right. Which brings me into the next topic, and our final topic of the night, actually. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the whole manosphere, Kevin Samuels type world right now of just how, gender roles are changing, levels of equality, things are different, and just what's going on. And I guess the question has now been asked, are women being too picky when it comes to their mates right now? And so we're going to do this thing. We haven't quite done this before, but we're going to see how this works out here. We're going to play a video, and then as the video is going, we are just going to, anybody shout out stop and just go in on their rant on this video at any particular time. That is cool. So let's go ahead and get it. It's a conversation between the roommates and your man Peterson. I think it's Jonathan Peterson. But yeah, let's get in on this conversation and see.
Dr. Peterson, a lot of young men have been sharing with me, and I'm not sure how much you've heard of it or experienced it. They've been sharing that that they feel as though the average woman has no desire for the average male, and that because of things like social media, online dating, things along those lines, as well as just some of the female empowerment, where a lot of women have this is what they say, an elevated sense of self, that now they feel like they're above a lot of these average males, which also contributes to a disparity between young adults being able to connect and form meaningful relationships.
Yeah, well, women are more picky in their mate choices than men, especially sexually. That's the case in every culture. It's not surprising, because women have more at stake sexually than men do, per episode, because men don't get pregnant, obviously. And so that female pickiness is that's the case. That's definitely true. Whether it's worse now or not, I doubt if it is. I would say women who are irritated at women.
Go ahead, Goss.
So I'm trying to figure out where all these picky girls at, because not every girl, but the thing I feel like when I have interactions with females and I have interactions with single females specifically, it's because they're not being picky. It's because they're settling, and because they're choosing dudes who they really don't like, who they really don't want to be with, but they're sleeping with them. You know what I'm saying? Giving them all the attention, giving them everything that necessarily they not saving for the good dude. And by the time they get to the good dude, they all ran out. They all like used up. You feel me? So, and they all jaded by then, and they're all, whatever. So I'm trying to figure out, where are they saying that these women are too picky, because I feel like they're not picky enough. Am I tripping?
No, I don't know. I think it's a mixture, excuse me, because I think some women can be too picky and keep waiting, and then they're like, I'm tired of waiting. Then they stop being picky and just pick whoever because they tired. You know what I'm saying? I have seen that happen quite a bit. Yeah. So I don't know, but I think there are also some women who, like you said, aren't picky enough. So yeah, I can agree with both.
Gotcha.
Definitely. And thank you, Stephen Levi. It is Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson. I think I called him Jonathan. My bad. Also, Kira is like, yo, look, if girls were picky, we wouldn't have been talking about Danieleigh's situation a minute ago. But you know what? I don't know that's, I think this conversation is more so about average women not choosing average men. I think that's really what this question is about. When we start talking about Danileigh and Dababy, I don't know how much you have to make or have to be considered a 1%er. But these guys are in, income wise, are in the top 5% when it's, when we talk about globally in the world and the world's poverty and whatnot. So it's a little bit different for them. But I think what they're saying, or the issue that, and of course this goes around to men who are starting to have issues with women because because they're getting rejected or something. I don't really understand how this goes fully. But the thing I think is average women not wanting average men is I guess the conversation that's being had. And I agree with Dr. Peterson. Women have more at stake. You know what I mean? There's just women should be picky up to a certain standpoint because they do have. Kara said, "Being rich don't make you ain't a basic dude. You're just a basic dude with a heavy bank account."
And that's a fact.
Ultimately, I agree with that statement, but that heavy bank account does give people more access, and a lot of times will get them. Theoretically, what you might call not an average woman, a higher, or whatever the case may be, I guess, since we're putting all these labels on people. But yeah, so that's what that is. Anybody else on it before?
Natasha said how men would rather ask women to adjust their stance and come up to a certain standard.
Right.
And he's going to get into that a little bit shortly right here. So, and that's a very actually good point. We'll talk about that. Go ahead and hit play if you don't mind.
That women is, if you're irritated at women, as a class of creature, there's something wrong with you because they're right. You're wrong. They're right to not pick you. If they're not picking you, it's because they're right.
Wow.
Now, that might I know that's a terrible thing to say, and I know perfectly well, it wasn't like I was particularly successful with girls when I was young, so I know what that rejection is like. I know what that fear is like. I don't know it as well as some men know it because I wasn't rejected outright. But what you have to understand is that what do you expect from women? If you got pregnant because you had sex, you'd be pretty damn choosy too. So, clue in a bit. And then, well, don't they find you attractive? Well, maybe you're not. Like, have you paid attention to how you dress? Do you have a plan? Are you as educated as you could be? Are you a liar? Are you a rabid pornography user? Because maybe that's undermining your motivation to seek out a woman and grow yourself up. It's like, if you're rejected constantly and you're out there really trying, because that's another thing to ask yourself is, well, how many women have you actually asked out? And are you so sure that you're not picking women who will certainly reject you because you're trying to bat out of your league? Because you might be.
Ain't no such thing as league.
And I'm speaking about this.
Say that one more time.
Ain't no such thing as leagues.
Ain't such thing as leagues. I kind of am with you on that.
No such thing as leagues, bro.
I kind of am with you on that. Tosh just put, it's the porn, fam. Men would rather ask women to adjust their standards. Okay, that she had already put that. She put it's the porn, fam. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'm still trying to understand.
What is the league?
Say again.
What is that? Explain what they mean when they say out of your league.
I guess what they're saying is, as a dude, you might be trying to. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've never really understood the out of my. That's not the way my brain thinks as a man when I want something. So
every girl is in my league.
That's how I lived life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
we got two arms, we got two eyes, we got two legs. We on the same level.
I mean, okay.
Nope.
Go ahead.
I think when people are saying this person is out of your league, I think it's more so a maturity thing and how that person is carrying themselves in their maturity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there are men and women who can absolutely be in a different league, and I think that that's all it means. It's just like, yo, she's way more mature. She got herself together. Like, you ain't like, are you gonna be able to like meet her where she at, or are you gonna be able to meet him where he at? Type thing. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where that comes from. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a real thing.
Man, do you know how many girls right now, this second, will trade that doctorate degree, trade that good job for a husband? You know how many girls will?
I agree. I mean, I think
You know
you
what I'm
have a
saying? These
point.
leagues are made up, bro. Leagues are like until a girl gets desperate, it don't mean nothing about no leagues no more. Let a girl
No,
be. Like,
I hear you, and I don't think that's the standard that people should always live by in terms of like, you know what I'm saying? Because it really a lot of times that doesn't even matter. I mean, I've seen it where it doesn't matter. Like the woman has degrees or whatever, and the husband doesn't, but they're still, you know,
bugging.
you know, I mean,
Yeah, that's my life as well. I mean, and Tasha's like cap. But no, I'm with that. Tasha, I'm definitely with
Yes.
I'm definitely with Corey on this one. I've just never had the mindset to think of anybody as being theoretically out of my league. If I wanted it, if I wanted them, if I wanted to pursue them, as I saw them as a quality person, I went after. And that was the its of it. So I don't really understand. I think these guys are just maybe afraid of rejection or something of that sort. The reason why they are upset at women because women are, you know, too picky or whatever. I believe, as Dr. Peterson said, I mean, women should be picky. You know what I mean? So
Tasha's the lawyer, right?
Tasha's the lawyer. Yep.
Is Tasha married? Girl, boyfriend? She's single?
She's single, yeah.
How old is Tasha?
Tasha's 30. You 37, 38?
All right, so look, let me ask Tasha this question then. So Tasha, let's say a dude wanted to talk to you, but he necessarily wasn't in your league, right? But you were attracted to him, right? Y'all had good conversation. Like he was everything. He had great qualities about him. Y'all had the both moral set, you know. And because he's not in your league, quote unquote, you're not gonna talk to him. Because I feel like if that's the only reason why you wouldn't talk to him.
My bad, Tosh.
Yeah, I was when he asked it, and then when you said it, I was like, ooh, how was that gonna work?
My bad.
And like
I
this
ain't in her 30s.
You should have said it in her 30s. Yeah.
That's a fact. You definitely should have said that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't know you at all, so this is just a question / assumption. But do you feel like you're single because you haven't found a guy in your league, quote unquote? Is that what is, or do you not desire to be in a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not a disrespectful question at all. But it's more so just a question when we're talking about leagues and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll let her give her a chance to answer. You know what I'm saying? But
and of course, you know, Tasha's even saying that she's an anomaly. She's saying she's different. You might want to ask somebody else that maybe whatever the case may be. It's a couple things to it. Like, ultimately, it's a different world right now, right? Like, especially when it comes to the Black culture. Black women is I've said this before. Black women is winning. Black women are the highest demographic, I believe, of college graduates right here. I believe they are their home ownership curve is way higher than Black men's right now, and even starting business, entrepreneurship wise, Black women is killing Black women right now, and all those statistics. And there's just a shift as men have been told, hey, you were supposed to be the provider, you're supposed to be this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. But now things have swapped to a point where, like I said, women are definitely able to outbank and whatever the case may be. All right, that was me stalling until she typed. She said, I have never had weight, height, complexion, income requirements. I look for character. I was married years ago and left an abusive situation. I'm working on me since. Just got back into dating, and she's gonna put more. So that's explained. So it's not like she's just been single, just chilling out. She's
right. I get that. So what's the league requirements then? When you say someone's not in your league, what are you talking about? Because typically, when they say he's not in my league, they're talking about income.
So sometimes, somehow, what I'm hearing mostly is income and degrees. Those seem to be
I
the league
I was saying
requirements.
maturity levels too. I think maturity. I mean, I don't know people who like look who say that like, oh, he's not in my league, or no, I don't know people that even do that. But that's my assumption when they're saying that. I think it's all of that. You know what I mean? Like income, maybe degrees, maybe maturity level, like how you carry yourself, like all of that. Because like
Yeah.
you can, I have seen I have seen women who are with dudes who don't even look like they got a job or look like, you know what I'm saying? They just looking regular, you know what I'm saying? And they have degrees and all these things, and they're just attracted to them because of their personality and all these other things. So,
Sure.
I
Nah,
mean,
I definitely agree with that. I feel like there are girls I feel like that they may feel like that I feel about them that they're out of my league. I'm sorry, that they won't talk to me because they think that they're out of my league. Did I say it right time? I think I said it right the first time. But like I don't even play into all that. It could just be you're not out of my, or I don't think that you're in my league, quote unquote. I just think I'm just not attracted to you in that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But they'll take it as I can't talk to Corey because he talks to these kind of girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I mean, you seem like you have a type, so I think
Oh yeah. Corey's picky as a mug too. Don't get it twisted.
100%.
Right. I mean, and I think it's okay to be picky, but I think like Daryl was saying, my husband, he said it's sometimes we're picky about the wrong things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's
No,
that.
going back to Tasha's comment, because she's commented some more there. When I hear about league, it's used at me as a black woman to communicate that a black man of a certain income level is out of mine. Okay, so she reversed it a little bit. But I don't care about that. Here is my league. She put spiritual, living Jesus for real. I think there's more physical, big enough, can handle me. I like a nice smile, different things of that nature. So that's what it is. Those dope. A lot of the things she's mentioned though so far are things that I think are or whatever. I think what I hate to see is, and I wrote and dropped names, the Akinemi from Truth's Table. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or what's her name from Jude? I can't think of her name right off from. But yeah,
Jude 3.
From Jude, and then even Yvonne Orji to an extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard these women talk on their different platforms and whatnot about wanting and desiring to be in a relationship or have children, even old girl that's over the shade room, you know what I mean? Or the girl that does the same room. You know what I mean? I hear them talk and desire these things. And I'm honestly, I don't know why this is, but this kind of hurts my heart. You know what I mean? I hate to see these successful, beautiful, independent black women without husbands and men or whatever the case may be when that's what they desire to have. I hate to see that for whatever reason. But some of the reasons why, I've heard Kennedy and old girl from Jude, I can't think of her name.
I can't think of her name either.
Talk about how their man had to have degrees. Like, say it again.
Is it Lisa Fields?
Is that her name? I think it might be.
I think that is her name.
I think that is her name. Yeah. Talk about how their man had to have degrees and stuff like that and whatnot. And I just,
They did say that?
They did say that, you know what I mean? And I said, me, I'm the average joker, right? I'm married to a woman with multiple degrees, you know what I mean? She's got 3 different degrees, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. And so I just, I hate to see them not get, or like Yvonne Orji, she seems like she wants somebody who's doing better than she is. And I'm like, well, at this point, Yvonne, you 1%er. Like you gotta, and you want somebody doing better than you. I'm not saying you can't have it. I'm not saying I don't got it for you or nothing like that. I just worry about some of that kind of stuff.
No, you know I don't think that.
Do y'all? Well, Kiara, she put. Do y'all think that there is sometimes an intentional pressure for successful women to dumb down to be with regular men because when you're a high achieving woman, some men feel a way about that. I guess that's a true statement. Now, me and Corey obviously don't live in that world, right?
No. Listen,
obviously we don't live in that world.
If a girl is like on a different level than I am, educationally, spiritually, on whatever level, that's gonna make me level up. I'm not telling you to dumb down. I'm gonna be a dude on level. I'm like, yo, this girl's getting me right. I needed this in my life.
But I think you're different. I think you're different though, because there are a lot of men who don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So I do
complacent.
think there is.
Yeah.
I do agree with Kiera what she's saying. I do think that there is pressure there.
Really?
And I think
I mean, I and I'm sorry to cut you off, Trish. I agree, Corey. This must be the case because we're hearing about it, right? Now, like I said, me and you weren't trained from that school of thought. You know what I mean? I ain't ever. Nobody's degrees have ever scared me away. Nobody's income had ever scared me away, and I don't want your income. I don't want, you know what I mean? Those things don't. They're not in my brain as I'm trying to approach you on a dating situation. You know what I mean? It's just.
But it's on a lot of Black women's brains
today,
especially women who are killing it. You know what I'm saying? They're bringing in the financial bag. And like Tasha's saying, I think it's dumb to require an equal earner. Between the two of us, we got it. But I shouldn't carry the financial burden because it will cause relationship problems.
But you just said between the two of we got it. So if you're saying that and you're saying I think it's dumb to require an equal earner, well, the financial burden would be on you. If you're saying that you make such amount, you don't require him to make as much as you do, be an equal earner, then the financial burden would naturally be upon you.
Yo, Kiera's wild.
Right? But anyway. She put, it's not dumbing down because a degree is not what makes me a great partner, and it doesn't make a man a good husband. I agree wholeheartedly on that. Yes. Kiera put, I have heard you talk to me like you know more than really. When the facts is, I just use all my SAT words and my vocabulary. I mean, nobody wants to be talked down to, and you have to search your heart, Kiera, on that one. Were you being, because I've seen people with degrees be very condescending to people without degrees. You have to search your heart and say, was that really what I was doing? Or is he just being insecure? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's just kind of.
College degree is like a high school diploma nowadays.
Tosh put, men treat you bad when they feel like you're the breadwinner. If that's the case, that's unfortunate. Just to be completely transparent, my wife is the breadwinner. You know what I mean? Like she got degrees, so she got more money than I do, especially right now in this season of our life. There have been years where we've competed. There's years when I've been the breadwinner, but now she has it. And because I don't have a degree, I've actually had to use sales. I'm a salesman. I'm a good salesman to match her. In sales, I can make up for that not having a degree or whatever the case may be. But don't get me wrong, it does weigh on her. It does. I can't say that it doesn't. I do hear some things, but then, my sales will come through and it'll be what it is, and it'll no longer be a conversation until sales isn't. But
I got a degree, okay? I'm HBCU educated. I got a job. I got all the things that would make me, well, actually, I'm a very eligible bachelor. But what I'm saying is, just because you got a degree don't mean you smart. Like, that means that you can, you could have cheated your way through college. You feel me? So I'm saying, like, a degree, if you're only banking it on the degree and you're saying this person is up to my level because he has a degree, I don't think that's the right thing to do.
I agree.
And then also, I have a degree, but the thing that I have a degree in, or the thing that I want to do in my life, it's like not the biggest money grab. Like, it's ministry, right? So like ministry is not the whole thing. It's like, I love it. I'm happy with it. I'm good with it. You feel me? So y'all are putting too much weight on this degree and stuff like that, I feel like.
No, like I said, I definitely agree with that. Let's hit the video and we'll do some more comments and wrap up this video here.
This as a clinician too, because I had plenty of men in my practice who were, radically unsuccessful with women. I had one man in particular. He was so afraid of women he couldn't use the phone. He was too afraid of everyone to use the phone, and he had been bullied like mad, and he had his problems. So I know what this is like, but pornography is a big problem. It's a big problem. It's a real curse, that pornography, in my opinion, because it's an easy out, and so we don't know what the consequences of that are. We're starting to understand some of them, but if you were better, you'd be more successful with women. Yeah. So you have to have that in your mind, and they're not. You cannot be angry at women. It's stupid. Women, it's like women being angry at men. It's a sign of psychological trouble. That.
So let's deal with that.
Dr. Peterson is that for the.
So to be angry at women is off, just the same way to be angry at men is off. It's a sign of psychological trouble. I think that's a conversation in itself. But even before we get to that, I wanted to talk about porn. How do we feel like porn affects this kind of situation as well?
What's he saying that it affects?
What's he saying that it affects?
It affects, yeah.
So I guess, because it's not like he didn't go into detail on that, I don't believe, but I guess that's why I was opening that question up, is how do y'all feel that it affects, how does porn affect things? I guess my thing is, sometimes you're saying, it's like Stephen Levi is saying, the way that men interact with women, I say porn affects, or what I've heard porn affects, yes, what Tasha said, the easy out, right? So you're not ready for rejection, or you don't know how to deal with rejection, because your easy out is just to get on the internet and you have theoretically all these beautiful women at your leisure, per se, online via porn or whatever the case may be. So now you don't know how to handle people in real life, or handle the rejection of, or understand why you can't get, or, it's easy out. You're getting your release, you're getting your whatever. So therefore you don't, why should I have to work in real life when I've got this browser situation? Kira said porn robs men and women of establishing authentic connections outside of sex. Yeah. Also, porn messes up men maybe in the way they view women, because every woman ain't, what we see in porn a lot of times is not natural. Whatever the case may be, right? So now you've put these unnatural expectations upon women, and
why do I feel like music does that too, though?
It does. Oh, our culture does it at large, in my opinion. I think music, our culture.
Yes.
Music in what way? Like in what way? What do you mean?
Every way that we just said porn did, music does the same thing.
In what way? Explain.
So what'd you just say about porn? What'd you say? Hey, what'd you just say?
You mean like removing the connection, or the inability to connect?
No, the way that we view women.
The objectification of women. Yes.
The objectification for sure. Music definitely does.
The things that we
hip hop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's all hip hop.
Yeah. Very misogynistic.
Yes, the way that we talk to women, what we expect women to do.
For sure.
So I'm saying all that is music too. Music and porn.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, there's a conversation about plastic surgery that I want us to get into one of these weeks, that I don't know that we'll be able to get into as well today. But and even makeup and things are being, like, women have always been known to wear makeup and whatever the case may be. Would you guys agree that within the last 20 years that has gone to another level?
Oh, for sure.
It's gone to a whole nother level. And like I said, this kind of fits in with the plastic surgery thing as well, as women are really feeling that they have to keep up with these crazy standards.
They low key do.
Absolutely.
They low key do though. I mean,
because Pete. I'm sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
No. You go.
So like, men, yes, they want to impress women, but we're not getting plastic surgery to impress women. Like we're doing what most people do, like is putting on deodorant and wear a nice shirt. You know what I'm saying? But like
Not put on
the
deodorant.
lengths that women go to impress men is definitely way different than how women react or women go to impress men. Men. So if you want a husband one day or you want a relationship one day, you do got to keep up because because your guy has
Kira said, nah, y'all be getting them etch a sketch hairlines too, which ain't even necessary.
I just got one today. That's a fact.
I don't know if that's not necessary. Women be loving them lineups.
No.
You don't be knowing it's etch a sketch though. My
not them fake joints.
My jump be clean though. My jump be
Beijing.
Nah. Nah, Beijing is OG. But I'm saying stuff that you know is fake. Like you know when you see a fake booty, bro. Like you know when you see like some fake boobs. So I'm saying like
Sometimes.
that kind of stuff.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Like
I've been accused and I was like, oh no.
So the keep up is real. It's just more on the keep up for women than it is men.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that's for sure.
We have a lot more to work with. Y'all don't have as much, but I do think
mine's waterproof. It's waterproof. It's waterproof.
I can't.
It's waterproof, Kiera.
Oh man, I just lost my train of thought. Crap, I don't remember what I was saying.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm hearing the ladies in this chat saying that this degree and income thing isn't a real issue per se to them. I guess that's what I'm hearing. But just doing research even for this show, I've seen where that is a big thing to a lot of women out there, and again, like I said, for whatever reason, I don't even know why. I'm married with kids, I'm good, but it hurts my heart to see single, Black, intelligent, super successful women out there who want husbands, wants kids, and have a hard time finding that or getting that. And my first thought process is to say, well, maybe her standards are too high or something like that. But I really don't know where that lies. Do men have to do better? To an extent, yes. And I encourage men to do better. Okay. As a 40-year-old man, I mean, look. My whole life, I've always had a woman on my arm, right? And I've always been an overweight guy, my whole life. I mean, pretty much. And I've always had a woman on my arm. And so I kind of wish now that I'm older and on the other side of things, that there were a lot of things that I probably should have done when I was younger, taking care of my health, exercising more, maybe getting more education, as education just seems to open up the door for opportunities a little bit more, and allows you to be a little bit more of an earner and different things of that nature. So I mean, any guy who's out there who checks this out, who listens to it and feels like, look, I'm getting rejected, I challenge you, step your game up. And you're not just doing it for a potential mate, but you're doing it for yourself, because when you get to a certain age, you're going to wish you had done some of that building block stuff in your 20s and your 30s.
Mm-hmm. You at least got to bring something to the table, and don't just assume that the woman that you're, looking for is going to take care of you. So because that happens. I'm
not saying that doesn't happen. I just don't know that that's on every guy's mind.
Yeah, you're putting too much weight on this degree, bro. And I got a degree, so I'm not speaking for somebody that doesn't have one, trying to advocate for people that don't got degrees. I'm just saying you're putting way too much weight on got to be degreed up. What about if you got an associate's degree?
She said you don't got to be degreed up.
Yeah, she said don't.
But also be educated. At least listen.
I'm sorry.
I should have my degree, okay? I went to school for many years, okay? I only have like one semester left. I have not gone back because I got pregnant. I couldn't go. It was a lot of things happening. I don't have my degree. So I am very well educated. My husband does not have a degree, and he is extremely well educated. So, none of that stuff matters for real. But as long as you're, again, bringing something to the table, like you're not just come to the table with nothing. That's what we're saying. Like, work on yourself. Make sure you got something that, is of value to add to the situation.
Bang, bang.
Yeah. That's definitely the truth. That's what it is. Anybody else got anything else on this topic of are women too picky? Like I said, on one
Bree, you
hand, we
was
definitely
quiet.
Bree, you was quiet.
For
You
a
was
reason.
Oh, no.
Bree,
Bree, I'm gonna need you to chime in.
you can speak
Listen,
freely,
no, I
Okay.
can. It's
and we'll
just I
judge
just
you
lived the
accordingly.
scenario. I mean, no, it's just I just went through this situation with my ex, and I had to hear every day like, I got to match you, I got to match your degrees, I got to match your salary, and it caused a lot of problems because it got to the place to where he didn't want to be ambitious anymore. It was like he wanted to get married, but he wanted me to potentially take care of him. Like that's what he had this whole stay-at-home husband thing figured out. And I'm just like, nah. So like sometimes, that whole thing with degrees and all that stuff, like it doesn't matter because it depends on the person. But you gotta have something. Like you gotta want to have something in life. It's like you can't just think, okay, I'm gonna find a better situation, and it's like I can't be a come up for you. Like that's how that last situation felt. So yeah, um,
So hold up. He came out of his mouth on the house husband situation for real.
yeah, yeah. He really said that in English in real life.
Studying English.
Listen,
Yep,
Ah!
yep.
listen.
There's so much. the
Which
first,
isn't
yeah,
which
the
isn't
first time he
always a
came.
bad thing.
It isn't.
I'm
Natasha
just
said
saying.
that. I mean, she said a
Yes.
stay-at-home husband ain't the worst thing. If we have kids, I don't
Man,
want to pay
the
for daycare.
Bible declares if
It's
a man
not,
don't
but
work,
neither of us had.
the
Yeah,
Bible says that.
the Bible does say that.
Ain't no
Just
Um,
such
because he at
thing as
home don't mean he ain't working. I'm
that's a good
saying just
point
because he at
too.
home don't mean he not working. Look at
That's a
Belief.
very good
Belief has
point.
been home with his kids for years and he is working.
I'm
So
talking
I'm
about
just
people
saying,
that ain't
like,
working, that are staying at home ain't working.
absolutely, I agree
Yeah,
with you on that.
And there
but
could be a
yeah,
season.
that wasn't a situation though.
There
But
could be seasons. There's seasons in marriages and stuff like that. You know,
Sure.
a guy could be trying to educate himself, and therefore the wife could be doing something as he gets his degrees or whatever. I've seen that work out in a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people's situations at all as well.
Yep.
Um,
uh,
yeah. I like I said, I don't fully understand the situation, but there is apparently trouble in the dating world when it comes to people really kind of deciding uh, who their mate should be. And, I guess people are getting married at a lower rate. Of course, people are getting divorced more, yada, yada, yada. So there's a lot of
uh,
studies going on around why all this stuff is happening.
Yeah, divorce is real.
It is.
Yeah.
It's getting
Everybody
crazy.
get divorced.
It's getting
Yeah.
crazy.
That is a thing. That is a thing. Well, if we've talked that subject enough there, y'all know how it is. I feel like we could go forever, but it's late.
That it is.
It it is late. Appreciate you guys hanging with us in the chat. I mean, from Kira to Taj to B Plush to even my man Kenny Fresh stepping in here. Definitely to Stephen the Levite. Appreciate having you in here as well. And of course, you've got it left right here to the Tastemakers. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can do that right now. Phil, go ahead and share out the video out to your social medias and whatever the case may be. And definitely, we will be back live next week. Will we?
Yes.
Will we?
yeah.
Will we? Oh, wait. Is that Thanksgiving?
Oh, that's
Wednesday. Thanksgiving is the next day. I guess we got to talk about this internally. We might be back live next week. We might not. Anyway, that's your girl Trisha Bell. It's your man Light Skin Corey. That's Brina. My name's Quote. And we appreciate you guys for hanging out with the Tastemakers here on the Tastemakers Pod. Also, the audio, you can catch it on Spotify and Apple Music. And I think we'll see y'all next week.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.